Hi guys, welcome back to Kiwi Wanderers. Hey, this episode we're going to talk about that age-old question.
Caravan or motorhome?
and what because we're not really experts, we've brought a couple of experts in. Welcome, Tasman Travels.
Hi.
Hello,
I'm Jordan,
and I'm Tom.
and we are Tasman Travels.
Yes. So we live full time in our motorhome. It's a Mercedes Sprinter 2015.
Yep, this is our third van, and we've been doing van life for about 5-6 years now, and we absolutely love it.
Yeah, we started in Australia and now we've been in New Zealand for a few years. Yeah, we just hit the road and live full time.
See you, man. So I guess one of the most obvious benefits of having a caravan like Greg and Sandy's is the space. We're all in here. It's nice and comfortable.
It's huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
We could sit in our van, couldn't we? But we would be sitting on each other's laps.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
squashed in.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's a pro for your van.
We don't have to have people round. We can come and have a party at yours and then go home to our nice clean van.
Yeah. But you do have to tow this big monstrosity around, so that's a bit of a con for the caravan.
Yeah.
So this is 23 foot. 24 foot.
Yeah.
So what's that like? And this was your first caravan?
Yeah, first caravan. I've done quite a bit of towing, but yeah, it's heavy. It's real heavy.
Yeah.
Concentrate when you're driving, and yeah, we waited actually just before we came on this trip, and the whole thing with the ute and the caravan is 6 tons.
6 tons.
Wow.
So
Oof,
So
pretty heavy.
it's-
that
Yeah.
is heavy.
Yeah.
We're 3.5 ton total.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the van.
Yeah.
so there you go. I mean, you don't get nothing for nothing. So we're 6 ton. We pay fuel for 6 ton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll be using twice the fuel you guys are probably. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. We're quite economical on the fuel, aren't we?
But if we're transiting somewhere, you're stopping. We usually only stay one night at a place if we're transiting, and that takes up the fuel load.
What do you mean by transiting?
What do you mean? What do you mean by transiting?
Well,
Going from one place
Maybe
to
someone on
another.
the other side of the camera doesn't know what you
Oh,
mean.
okay. So if we're doing a quick trip to come down to Queenstown, we're going from Christchurch, and we can only drive 2 hours each because Greg only likes to drive for 2 hours. So we have to go 2 hours, stop, stay the night, 2 hours, stop, stay the
Yeah,
night,
yeah.
2 hours, stop, stay the night.
Yeah.
So why just the 2 hours? Is that because of the caravan, or
Yeah.
that's just you? Or
No, it's because of the caravan. I think you really are concentrating when you're driving the caravan.
Yeah.
On several levels, and I don't know. Yeah, it probably is just a little bit of me. I mean, I'm not a teenager, so yeah.
Mentally, it takes a lot
Yeah,
out
it
of
does.
this, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're 7 meters long,
Yeah.
and a bit wider than we're wider than your ute, just a bit,
yeah.
and we're about 3 meters high. So there's definitely a level of concentration more
Yes.
than you would a ute
Just
or a car.
Yeah, that's
car,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, and maybe it's a Sprinter, I'm not sure, because this is our biggest van we've had, and the other that was a Ford Transit, which was smaller, and Toyota Hiace, which was smaller. Maybe because it's a Sprinter, I'm not sure. And you should have a go. It really doesn't feel like you're driving a massive
No,
vehicle.
no.
And she goes.
Yeah.
She will go.
Okay.
If you want to put your foot down, it will go.
Yeah.
It's more like it would be towing in a city. But with that, I just let people do whatever they want. I'm doing my thing, go around me, whatever. I'm not going to stop.
Yeah. Sometimes, like when I'm driving, I forget I'm driving such a big vehicle because it does just feel like a
It
car.
feels good.
Yeah.
And you drive less, don't you? So it would be.
So that actually
Yeah.
comes to a bit of a pro with the caravan, is that if we did want to go into Queenstown, we would take our ute, and it's a largish vehicle, but it's not super big,
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
park in any car park and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But there's the con to that is that we have to leave our caravan here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so with the Sprinter, we can get into a normal parking space.
That's good.
If
Yep.
we can reverse in an overhang. So if there's
right.
a scrub
Yeah,
or a
yeah,
path, we'll
yeah.
go in, and as long as we can overhang,
Yeah.
only a little bit of the van sticks out.
Oh yeah.
If it's a mega busy car park, then we'll just avoid it,
Yeah, just
because
won't go.
we just won't do it.
Yeah.
But this is something we said, because these guys thankfully brought us some groceries, booze. Because they was coming down here from Queenstown, we were like, oh, we've run out of this, we've run out of that. We didn't want to leave and get all the van put back together to then use fuel to then drive an hour that way and then come back and lose a spot
Use your
here,
spot, exactly.
which we really loved. And we thought, oh, if we had a U, one of us could even stay here if we
Yes,
felt that
that's
it was a
right.
bit dodgy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
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 Um,
Yeah. Plus,
You do lose out on that option, don't you?
yeah.
but where we lose out is coming from Queenstown to here, that nice bit of road.
All the lookout stops.
Quite a few little spots there, lookouts. So
Yeah.
like, if we wanted to go into the lookout, we'd have to be really lucky that there's no one else in there.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of traffic because we're going to cross
And
the
it's-
centre line
Yeah,
or
and
whatever.
it's big
you know.
enough too. Yeah.
So stopping needs to be more planned when you
Yeah.
Absolutely.
because
But quite often we will see places, oh, we'll just go and do that, or we'll do that. And we don't have to put too much thought into it. We can just...
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
If there's
Yeah.
several other vehicles there, it's not a problem for you.
Yeah.
But then, switching that around as well, you guys can go to a beautiful, say, dock camp like Moat Lake, or here where we're at this Kingston campground. We've been here for about a week now. You can leave the caravan if you feel comfortable to do that, and just go off and explore. So you're keeping your home base in one spot, all set up how you want to, and you can just dock off. You know.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
you're in a more capable vehicle. You've got a four-wheel drive.
Yes, true.
That's
So
it,
you
true.
can go more off the track than we
Yeah.
can in ours.
Okay, so advantage for a caravan is if you do need repairs, you don't lose both your accommodation and your transport.
Yeah.
You lose one or the other. You
Yeah.
know, so we've managed to wipe the awning off. in a
What do you mean
caravan.
we?
When I say we,
Oh, well, I was in the car too, I suppose. So that's we.
that's right,
I
yeah.
You
suppose.
should have been
yeah.
watching the awning
Yeah, I
Saturday
should
the
have
whole
been. Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
so that goes into repair to get repaired, and that's 2 weeks.
Wow.
You know, so what do you
So
do?
we haven't got a house.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a house.
No.
So, but yeah, luckily,
Well, yeah, you've kind of answered it. You still don't have a house,
no.
but
Yep.
we've had this. You can leave your caravan and your accommodation, what you've arranged, you can drive to. We've left our house, and we've got accommodation for insurance, but so how are we going to get there?
How do you get there? Exactly.
Yeah.
Stingy over here won't pay for a taxi or an Uber, so it's like, oh, I wonder if the Airbnb host will come and get us, and they do.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. So another one is if
Another pro.
another pro for the motorhome or camper van would be if we ever feel unsafe at a campsite, we can just go into the front and drive off like
Exactly.
super quick.
Yeah.
Don't have to get out of the van at
No.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
think we've done it twice in the 5 years that
5,
we've
6 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've left. The second time in New Zealand wasn't unsafe. We just wanted to get out of there. It was midnight.
Yeah.
The first time in Aussie, when we were stealth camping,
Yeah.
we felt unsafe. We just got out of bed, straight in the cockpit, gone.
Yeah.
Didn't have to get out, didn't have to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like even with the STARLINK, I'll just drive off it.
Yeah.
It's unsafe.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So occasionally, if we've come to somewhere and we're not entirely sure about it, we'll leave the car connected up.
Yeah.
But we'd still have to get out
Yeah,
of the
we'd have to
van
get
to
out.
get
You
into
would,
the car.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's watching this who's thinking about touring New Zealand caravan or motorhome, you haven't done it yet. New Zealand is extremely safe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so is
yeah.
Australia, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
For freedom camping, for van life, it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's great. I
Extremely
can
rare.
only think of one time when we were parked in Thames,
Yeah.
and there was I think a drug deal going on outside the caravan.
Oh, yeah.
And we were at a freedom camp, and that would
It
have
was
been
Sandy looking for gummies.
It was, yeah. With the
Probably.
gummies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But that might have been a time that I thought, I'm not sure this is the best place to be. But
And yeah, so in addition to that, another pro or the same pro would be everything's in the van. So if the weather's rubbish, it's rainy or stormy, you don't have to ever leave the van for any reason.
Yeah.
And also, you guys, when you arrive somewhere, your house is warm.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we arrive somewhere, we've got to
turn
heat
the
our
heater
house
on.
up.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't leave it running whilst you...
You probably
Well, we could.
We don't, but you maybe you could. Yeah, that's
We
right.
don't, but
No.
we've heard you can with diesel heaters.
Yeah,
We
right,
have
okay.
by mistake a couple of times,
Oh, yeah.
even though it is on a checklist to turn it off. But
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think you can with diesel heaters.
I mean, we wouldn't. We never would do that because, like you said, the heat. If we've got the blowers on in the cockpit, it's
Yeah,
coming
it's
heats the
through.
whole van.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. The other negative side of that is that if you do a lot of driving, you're driving in your van, and then you're sleeping in your van. Whereas we have a complete separate place to go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, for me anyway, once I've got out of the behind the wheel and got into the caravan,
Yeah.
I'm
You
on
relax.
holiday.
I have noticed
I'm
that.
relaxed. You know,
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys are in the same space.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
noticed with some of the caravans we've just stepped into, it feels more like a home
And an apartment.
and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
small apartment
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
a van.
Leaving the vehicle and stepping into something new and fresh and
Yeah.
not just turning and sitting around like and just staying there. I'm gonna stay in this seat forever.
Yeah,
You know, my throne. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Negative. A negative for our friends Kiwi Wanderers, but Greg, you did it beautifully. Don't think we've talked about this. Getting into spots in a campsite.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
We'll
true.
put the footage over.
Yeah.
So being in the van, obviously because we're 7 metres, we can't get into all the tiny spots that some little MPVs can get into. But the majority of the time, like here, we just pull in, may reverse a bit, pull in a bit more, stick the levers out, we're done.
And you're
We're
done.
completely
Yeah.
set up.
Yeah.
Done.
Within minutes.
Within minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not.
No.
It takes a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but you're very good at backing.
Yeah.
Greg's going to try and teach me, but I'm not really that
That was
keen.
really good.
The
Really
Jayco
good.
has cameras all around it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you do get a reasonable idea of what you're running into.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always
Mindless.
look on the apps to make sure there's large vehicle access because
They don't always tell you that.
no, a lot of
no,
them
they
don't.
don't.
So I
No.
look at the all the comments though.
That's
do.
where our 222 rule comes in. Have you heard of our 222? You haven't heard of our 222?
No. What is
Sandy,
this?
what is it?
No more than 2 hours driving.
Yeah.
Always get somewhere before 2 o'clock, and have 2 alternates.
What are 2 alternates?
So
Back
somewhere
to-
else to go.
Yeah.
So if we rocked up here and didn't like the look of it, or the whole place was mud or whatever,
Yeah.
we'd have
We'd
okay.
probably
we're
just
going
go
to
back to Queenstown or
yeah,
something.
it'd be to
or,
Queenstown or wherever
Yeah.
You have
just
another-
but have a couple of options so that you know.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We never think about that, do we?
No. But that's a kind of a pro for a motorhome is the like freedom camps.
Yeah.
A lot of them are tiny like car parks,
Yeah.
especially near the towns and that.
Yeah.
We can just slot straight in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
yeah.
right.
Where it's
Yeah.
more difficult for you guys.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I mean, if sometimes we've been to places and we're the only ones there, so we'll take up 3 parks. But if no one else
I
is
won't
there.
talk. I won't say.
Wow, Sandy, you said that out loud.
Well, actually, we've only
It's-
done that
it's now on
once.
the
We've
inside.
done that once.
If you own a caravan, these freedom camps, they're set up for one vehicle, these spaces. So if you own a caravan, you need to stay in a freedom camp. Please put your caravan in, unhook, and put your ute elsewhere. I will be knocking on your door.
No, the one where we took up 3 places was where we stayed connected because we weren't 100% sure of the site. And it was just after lockdown, wasn't it? The second lockdown?
Yeah.
And there was no one around.
on the road.
Yeah.
And there was another
Well,
one.
it wouldn't
10
be because they
parks.
wouldn't fit.
There was about another 10 parks.
It's a real gripe with mine. that
Yeah, I
is.
know it is. I know it is.
I can
We've
imagine,
done it once.
I can imagine it would be
Yeah.
a real gripe.
So I guess that's maybe a pro with a motorhome, depending on how big your motorhome is. A lot of the roads are really windy and unsealed,
Yeah.
Narrow.
narrow.
Yeah.
So we can pretty much not have to give too much thought into it. We can
go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we do check the comments, but we don't have to worry too much.
No.
As long as it's not four-wheel drive, we're okay.
Yeah, and that we do try to go remote places, and there can be like that place up north past Sable Tasman. It was a good hour or so on a single lane dirt track.
Yeah.
And we met people coming, and we were able to reverse a bit, get into a little scoochy bit.
Yeah.
You guys, I don't think you'd be able to do it.
No,
I don't know.
No.
And we, if we're unsure, we do what we did the other day and drive in with the ute.
Just
make a decision.
Absolutely,
This is doable,
Do a
or
recce.
you know.
Yeah.
Like some of the places we went in the West Coast, you'd never take a caravan in, would you?
Oh no, I'm just saying that no. But when we went so we visited the Archers.
Oh yeah, true.
We weren't going to stay there, so we found the road quite bad just for the ute. So driving along with the motorhome, I think would be. They say no motorhomes, don't they? Or no towed vehicles.
Yeah. Well,
but this lady just drove it in, and she said she reckoned it was fine, but it was dodgy as.
Wild.
Yeah.
Cheers!
Cheers! It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock here.
Yeah, it is 5 o'clock. Yeah.
It's not dark yet, but it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Righto. Cost. So one of the things that I think is you get more bang for your buck with a caravan than you do with a motorhome.
Yeah.
Great.
You do have to buy a tow vehicle as well, but even if you add those two together, it's still, I think, more bang for buck.
I think it is.
Yeah, I agree. It, again, depending on the motorhome you've got. I mean, we've seen motorhomes at the Christchurch Motorhome Show. $375,000 for a box on wheels, and it was nice, but bloody hell!
Yeah,
we thought that as well. You do get more. You get more space. What else? You get
more space. Probably more features and stuff. Like it's
you can fit a lot more in.
Big fridge,
and
big oven.
I mean, that's
that
pretty much a decent sized fridge, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
fridge.
And a freezer and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So on a different note from that, our insurance total is around $1,000 for our motorhome.
Yeah, right.
So
whereas
we are how much?
Over 1,700.
Yeah.
So
just for the caravan.
Just for the caravan, and then the car's another 1,200.
Yeah.
So that's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
1,200.
Yep.
Oh.
So our car's $91 a month. Yeah.
Oh.
So I think the maintenance costs then, and the ongoing, even though it's cheaper initially to get the caravan,
or more bang for your buck,
then maybe the ongoing costs would be higher, especially if you've got your maintenance, like your WOF and that.
And of course, you have to have the caravan serviced and the ute serviced.
And the ute,
We just have the one entity service.
I do them both. But...
Well, that's great. That's great. Yeah. But,
so our Ranger does about 10 litres per 100 when it's not towing. You put the Caravan on, it's 18 litres per 100, so it's almost double.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So it drinks it.
Yeah.
So
so I think our van would be somewhere in between.
I'm
pretty sure it's like 12 or 13. Or something like that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Good,
Tell me, when you're driving along, is all the stuff in the back rattling?
You do get a couple of rattles, but nowhere near as much as the Fiat that we test drove, and that was newer than ours.
Wow!
And I think that's the build
quality, maybe. Yeah.
But yes, you do, and yes, I have said to Tom, because I hate rattles, don't I? They really.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I said to Tom, if we were towing, we wouldn't hear the
Yeah,
rattles.
no.
Nothing.
No.
You wouldn't hear that stuff's falling out your cupboard.
Exactly.
Doors have swung open.
You do get to witness this when you get back into the caravan.
A pro from motorhome is, and it does happen, somebody's forgotten to close a cupboard or a drawer. You see it straight away.
You
exactly.
Stop,
you close it. You're all good.
That's right. In a caravan, we wait till
that middle cupboard. I tell you, it's got a mind of its own, and that's
Jaco,
come out a couple of times.
That's right. Jaco looked at it.
So have you ever had a
We
No,
haven't had a major.
No, just that drawer coming out.
We had that drawer coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But it didn't break anything. Or
No.
anything, did it? But yeah, you could see how it could. I actually set the GoPro up inside the Caravan once. I glued it onto the side of the door here, looking along there, and I thought, oh, this will be good. It'll be showing everything, all moving around.
Yeah.
No, it was the most boring video.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. So again, Jacob, if you're listening, well done. Yeah. A benefit of having a motorhome, because we do this a lot, is, and it's still awkward, you take the wrong turn and it's a dead end or it's a track you don't want to go down. We can relatively easy do a 8-point turn or reverse out.
That track we went up the other day.
In Queenstown,
Tom
Tom just said turn right, so I did, and it was literally maybe the length of this caravan, the space that I had. I'm like, why are we here?
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah.
How's it go with you?
Yeah.
Caravan would be terrible, eh?
Yeah. No, we and to be fair, we're really conscious about that, aren't we? So we would,
We did take a wrong turn once. So lockdown had just started, second lockdown, and we were in Hamilton, and we wanted to get to our son's place in Rotorua, and we went to a dump station in Cambridge, and by mistake we went over like this real narrow bridge, and it's only like 3.5 ton or something.
Yeah, only rated to 3.5 tons.
And we were absolutely freaking because we couldn't do anything.
And
over height and people yelling at us saying, go home, because lockdown had just started and we're getting the views, and it was awful. And this was like probably 8 days into having a van.
So if anybody's designing a GPS software, it'd be great to have a large vehicle GPS software, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. Yeah. So have you been let down by the map systems?
Yes.
We have the odd time, but nothing's actually got us into trouble.
No, we haven't been into trouble, but we've done some serious additional kilometres. Yeah.
That's a really good idea. Now we mix it up between Apple Maps and Google or the TomTom.
Yeah. You've got a TomTom.
I've got a portable TomTom. Doesn't always get it right.
He's always shouting at me.
I'm always shouting at that TomTom. Where am I going?
Yeah.
But that's a really good point to these map makers. It would be amazing if you could sort of, when you're setting up your mapping on your phone or sat nav or what knows, what type of vehicle do you have? How long is it?
That would be good, wouldn't it?
I think we're onto something.
Yeah, I think we are. Okay.
Copyright.
Yeah. If anybody knows of a software, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
So we would, we always have a look at the weather before we travel. But one of the things that we don't get too worried about is the wind, because we've got stability control and all sorts of things on the Caravan.
It's quite amazing how you can feel it come on and
just
puts you,
corrects everything.
Puts you straight
it's very
again.
good.
Yeah.
So we don't get too affected by wind. We're in a large camper van or motorhome when you're quite tall.
We are quite
tall.
that
surprises me because you are pretty much the same height as us, and you've got so in the Sprinter it has
wind assist.
Wind assist.
Wow.
So if it feels, again, this is our Sprinter, if it feels wind, then the brakes will go on and it will do its own thing.
It's done that a few times.
Where the wind's hit it and it will straighten itself up. Again, this is our motorhome, and it would be different if it was a lesser decent van or if it was a much bigger van.
But we can feel the wind.
We can feel it.
We are high on.
But that really surprises me, because we often hear from people with caravans that the wind has caught the caravan and no matter what, it's moving.
Yeah.
Depends on the caravan, I suppose.
The Caravan has sway control. The Ute has sway control for the Caravan. So all that electronics work here. But
I think
generally. You don't like mucking around in the bad weather anyway, do you?
No.
No.
I think we know some people with a single axle older Caravan.
Yes, we do.
Right.
Where they were mentioning about
I can imagine
all the
that
time. So I think maybe the newer vehicles don't really have.
So for you guys out there who don't know, single axle on a Caravan is where you just have two wheels either side of the van. Double axle is, or dual axle is two wheels either side. 4 wheels in total. We'll put some videos in.
So a lot more stability with 4 wheels.
A lot more stability. So when you're driving, you're towing, and you feel wind, and you yourself want to straighten the van up, what do you do? What would be your tips?
The thing everybody's trying to avoid is the massive sway where the Caravan gets a sway on and puts the tow vehicle out of control. That's happened to us once. Sandy was driving.
Oh no! Oh,
and
Sandy!
I know.
On those gummies.
Yeah.
I can cut that.
No, you don't have to cut
Like
it.
I'm not
Were
going
you
to.
there? Were you there? How do you know that? Anyway, to correct it, it was relatively easy. Just push the button on the brake controller. Brings the brakes on the trailer.
Yeah.
On the Caravan, and the whole job just straightens up.
I see.
You slow down quickly.
Yeah.
So it's all brake controllers have this emergency button.
That's good.
So what if though, and for the audience or anyone considering towing that doesn't quite understand, what if you didn't have that? Now your experience in towing, what would you do? Where would you put the vehicle?
So I'd try to go to the middle of the road and try to slow down organically, if you like. So not put your foot on the brakes.
No.
And try and slow down organically. If you put the foot on the brake on the tow car, the trailer's going to get worse.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why they have this emergency button. And any Caravan of any size, you have to have a brake controller.
Okay.
So it's not.
And so that's the middle of the lane you're driving in, not the middle of the road.
No. Yeah. Trying to get to the
and am I right in thinking that if the Caravan is going like that, don't make your ute try and go with it. Just keep your ute straight.
Try and keep the ute straight. Really, really hard to do without the assistance of the brake controller. But
which is mandatory anyway.
It is mandatory over a certain weight, I think. Over
and again, if you're driving a larger van, if it does start to sway and the wind hits you and you don't have what we have, wind assist. I wish that worked for Tom sometimes.
So rude.
Oh, you should have smelled him last night. Oh my god. I will cut that out, baby, maybe. The whole, you've just got to stay calm. Don't panic. Don't try and steer out of it. Just concentrate
and slow down.
And slow down. But like Greg said, try to slow down naturally. Take your foot off the accelerator. Don't slam the brakes on.
No. So the other plus is if you're at a campsite and you're really enjoying yourself and you're with nice people and it's a lovely place.
We see nice people.
Yeah, see nothing yet.
Okay, so and all your toilets get full and your wastewater's full. If you have a Caravan, you can work out some way of taking that to the closest dump station and getting it sorted. Whereas if you're in a motorhome, you really have to travel to the dump station.
So what do you do then?
So we have 2 toilet cassettes, and when one of them is, or when both of them are full, we put them in the ute. We have little containers to put them in and drive to the dump station. Our grey water, we have a trolley arrangement that we can just lift into the back of the ute and take that to the dump station as well. So we can extend our stay at the same place.
Yeah, and you can even do that with your fresh water if you wanted to.
Of course,
refill.
Other
fresh.
people do. That's right.
Yeah.
But we're also, we're travelling full time. Well, the 4 of us are.
We are, yeah.
And we've got the time, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not as if...
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a different story if you were just going away for a weekend or just going away for a couple of weeks or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I guess we're all coming from this, living on the road full time and touring full time. If you're considering just taking a couple of weeks to do a tiki tour, then get a motorhome.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right. Get a motorhome because you're going to try to
cram in quite a lot.
Cram in a lot. You've got to go to the campgrounds where you might stay 1 or 2 nights. You're going to pull in, go to sleep, leave. You're going to pull off to these experiences, points of interest.
That's right.
And Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
If you're considering living full time, maybe a caravan's better if you're going to have a base for a week or 2 and explore the area, or if you're going to work on the road, not remotely, but you're going to go and say do a lot of Kiwis who live on the road do the fruit picking,
Yes,
the
okay.
harvest.
Yeah, grape.
Yeah.
Greg did the grape harvest.
Yeah.
Oh,
drove,
yeah.
drove trucks for the grape harvest in Blenheim.
So, and Sandy stayed at home eating gummies. So it was really good for them to have
Were
a
you
base.
there as well?
I'm the one giving her the gummies. Yeah, you can just leave it there and go off and do your thing. Yeah.
I suppose what you're
And I
doing.
think that sort of brings us to the final thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really, it is your particular situation.
Yeah.
What it suits. Eh?
Yeah.
So we haven't answered anything.
No, not really.
We have no idea. Don't watch this. Because we don't know.
No, it depends on what you want to do.
It does.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. If you got lots of time, or maybe you can absorb some of that time by towing a caravan around, setting it up, and, and staying longer.
If you like
If
going
you-
slower.
Yeah. If you want to go slow, if you want to go fast, zoom around and see everything everywhere and stop at every point of interest.
Yeah.
Then maybe a motorhome. might
Yeah.
be,
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong.
No.
It's all circumstantial. I think I'm glad we have had vans.
Yeah.
We may go to a caravan in the future. We may go to a different motorhome.
Yeah.
For us, having vans initially has given us a really good and quite easy taste
Yes.
of exploring
Yes.
Australia and
Yeah.
New Zealand. And remember, guys, we're only talking about New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand roads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just in New Zealand.
Yeah, it would be different
Oh, fine.
in like say Europe, where there's so many towns and cities close to each other.
Yeah.
Or say Australia, where there's big open roads.
Yeah.
Every country's different.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I feel for us it gave us a good taste in a van.
Yeah.
To experience it, and you guys, you've not had a van. You've
No.
only had.
No, I only
that's
had-
right.
yeah.
No. Maybe we'll have to rent one. Well, I think we need to rent one in Europe, Sandy.
Yeah, I
What do
think
you
we do too.
I think we do too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the next
It'll be another
episode,
episode, yeah.
Yeah, from
while we're in
Paris.
France.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. That is the end of our camper van or motorhome.
Versus caravan.
Yeah, yes. Hey, I hope you got something out of it. If you have, please like or subscribe. It's free,
Yeah.
and it really helps us. So, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
We'll see you out there.
Bye. You say some bullshit, we'll cut it out.
We always
Will you?
have a
Okay,
little.
how will you be able to tell though?
Yeah, that's right.
Bye.
Wave.
Oh,
Sorry.
Big and long initially, but after a while, you get used to it.
Cut that out.
No,
Tonight we're running on the right track.